just for you.
Well, we're going shopping this morning on 3+U. We've headed back down to Chatsworth, Georgia. We've hurried to Murray, as we like to say, paying a visit to the newest business probably to locate in downtown Chatsworth. Husband and wife team here. We've got Caitlin and Z Hamilton, who have opened up Park Clothing, Park Collectors shop here in downtown Chatsworth. Good to see you both.
You as well. Thank you so much.
So your side of things, Caitlin, is a lot easier for me to relate to.
Yes.
Z's side has all the fun.
Yes.
So you've got Magnolia Clothing Company. Beautiful Southern clothing that you've got here.
Yes, I sure do. I offer women's clothing as well as children's clothing, so I have a little bit for the whole family.
I like the way you've got it laid out. It's very easy to walk in and let your eye just kind of go.
Yes.
It looks like you've got everything from loungewear to dresses to just summertime t-shirts.
Yes, we do. We have a lot of t-shirts and shorts, just your everyday outfit. We have shoes to go with it as well, and then we offer all the way up to your Sunday attire.
You also customize things. Talk
Yes.
about you call them freshies, the car
Yes.
fresheners.
Yes, we sure do. We offer custom freshies. So we offer the big ones that hang from your rearview mirror, and then the ones that actually go in the vents in your vehicle. And those last up to 6 weeks. We can do any scent, any design that you can come up with, and we can do it in about a week.
Okay, now Z, it's your turn. Your side is called Collectors Asylum, and it sounds like what you've done is taken your own love of many of these games, and you've made it not only accessible for folks to come in and buy, but to enjoy while they're here.
So the goal was to create an atmosphere for the community where people could come and just enjoy what they love to do. So it's not only just toys that you can buy for yourself, collectibles and things like that. We got Pokemon and Ninja Turtles and just all those things, but also an atmosphere, right? So we have a live music place back here. You can come in and play guitar, you can come in and sing, or you can just come in and hang out, read books, play video games. Like that was the goal for Murray. So.
Y'all are both parents. You got three girls.
Yes.
So you know what it's like as parents to want to have something that the whole family can go and enjoy.
Definitely.
Is that part of the motivation here for you?
I think it was. I think it was like a double whammy, right? So what we knew we would see was a lot of guys coming in, husbands coming in, wanting to buy Pokemon, wanting to buy all these things, all these collectibles and stuff like that. But then the wife is kind of just sitting there bored. And it's like, okay, well, let's design something on the other side. Thankfully, the wife had been doing it for years prior to this. So the men can shop, or the women can shop, and the husbands can come try dresses on. We don't care.
You were saying to me, Caitlin, that y'all are doing some things like with the Pokemon, for example, which I don't play. Maybe this is how I could come and learn.
Right.
But you're looking to have events where people can come and actually play the
Yes.
game while they're here.
Yeah, wanting to do tournaments.
So another goal was we wanted to be able to host tournaments, and it's not just Pokemon. It's Magic. It's we want to do Dungeons and Dragons. We want to do Warhammer 40,000. We want to do all of these things because we, as a fellow collector, we always look for a place to go, and you have to find somewhere that's secure and somewhere that's fun, and you feel at home while you're doing it. And Murray County just does not have that. So we are going to start that soon. You'll be able to come in. We'll host tournaments. We'll host trade nights. We'll host D&D. I guess battles. I don't know. And just all of it's just a trifecta of things.
Then people are not going to be here for a short length of time.
Probably not.
Right?
No.
They'll be digging in for a few hours of fun.
That's the goal.
Are you getting people, you mentioned the trade, are you getting people coming to you with some collectors of their own saying, I don't want this anymore?
Oh, for sure. So we've had tons of people bring in collectibles all the way back from the 90s and sometimes 70s, 60s, stuff like that. We're trying to get like more of a plethora, like just a massive amount of just different things that people can enjoy. Whereas we are a smaller business, right? We don't have 100,000 square feet to stuff everything in the whole world into one place. But we're getting there, and people are coming in and buying new things every week. So it's been pretty exciting.
Anything you can think of, I'm putting you on the spot, that stands out?
Pokemon stands out.
Yeah.
Through and through. It's our #1 seller. So we don't have distro, so we do all secondary markets. So we buy from individuals and sell to individuals. And the feedback that I've got in the last it's been 32 days today, is we're the cheapest Pokemon store in all of North Georgia.
Nice. I like how you said that nothing like this is in Murray County, so you're happy to bring it. Y'all live in Eton.
Yes.
We talk a lot about Chatsworth, but Eton is the other town here in Murray County. But we comment every time we come down here, which is pretty frequent. how business is always growing
Yes,
here.
it is.
Y'all are really just on the cusp of taking off.
Right.
As a town.
It is. It is. It's growing every single day. I feel like there's just more to offer in this town, and everyone that kind of runs it and manages it is phenomenal, honestly.
I will give you a shout out, Caitlin, to what you got in your inventory today.
Okay.
I know y'all had a big weekend,
Yes.
so you felt kind of bad. To me, it looks very nice and full.
you.
But you've got a great selection of color.
Okay, yes, definitely. That's what I wanted. When people walk in, I want them to see pops of color, and just really, I want them to walk in and feel happy and just feel better about everything. And when you put on a certain outfit, we as women know when we put on a certain outfit, we feel good about it. That's what I want when people walk in here.
And chances are when you walk in here, you're going to think, wow, what's going on? Because they made it nice and quiet for our conversation on camera. But there's always somebody playing something over there on Collectors Asylum. So it kind of feels like home when you come in.
Definitely.
So here's where you will find them. It's 2 in 1. You've got the Magnolia Clothing Company and then Collectors Asylum. Are y'all open 6 days a week, 7 days a week?
7 days a week from 10 to 8.
They're not sleeping.
No,
So
we do
come and
not
pay
sleep.
them a
We do this
visit.
every day, all day
Correct.
long.
We're here, definitely.
Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Thank
We
you, ma'am.
appreciate it.
Memorial Day weekend deals have arrived at Ashley, now through Monday. Shop incredible doorbusters starting at just $2.99. Add a queen mattress for just $5.99. Plus, enjoy free delivery on qualifying purchases, now through Monday only at Ashley.
Whoa.
Make new memories each time you visit and find your joy at the Tennessee Aquarium.
More than 115,000 vehicles pass through our community every day on I-75.
A large number of those vehicles are 40-ton tractor trailers.
If you've been hurt in a truck accident, give us a call.
265-HURT.
That's 265-4878.
Truck drivers, please slow down.
Lives depend on it.
This Memorial Day, Closet Solutions proudly honors our heroes. Veterans, active duty first responders, and their families always receive a discount as our way of saying thank you. And now, through June 15th, an extra salute. Double the discount when you schedule an in-home consultation. We've been locally owned and trusted for 28 years with showrooms in Knoxville and Chattanooga. Honoring service starts at home. GoClosets.com.
After my car wreck, the insiders treated me like gold and got me $750,000.
We're ready to listen and we're ready to help.
And we'll treat you like gold. Call us.
It's just that easy.
Call 265-1100.
Memorial Day savings just got even better this weekend at Ashley. Save up to 30% off your entire purchase. Plus, shop incredible doorbusters starting at just $2.99. And get 0% interest for 60 months with 0 down today. Now through Monday at Ashley.
You know what? We like to think of 3+U as being a happy show. Most times when people come through our doors, they have something happy to talk about. And this morning we kind of get happy ×2 because Alan Barra is back on the show. He has Barra's Cabinetry. Do I say that right? Cabinet Refinishing. This is Jessica White, and she's bringing the second dose of happy because you'll see when her name pops up, it says happy customer. So good to see you both.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So Alan, you've been coming on the show for a while now, and I told you when you came in today, I've run into at least one person who used you.
Yes.
And she has seen you on the show and stopped me to say what a great job you did. And we talked about how wonderful we both think it is that you just take on one project a week. So no one's ever having to share your genius. So Jessica was lucky enough to be one of those people. You had kind of a vision for your kitchen, and your mom said you got to call Alan Barra.
So yeah, she referred me to someone who helped kind of design the layout. It was a kind of a shotgun style kitchen, tough. We weren't expanding it, so how can we make it work? She did some drawings and editings, and then she referred us to Alan, and he made everything happen. So it's really nice.
So you've shared a few little nuggets with me. So a couple of things that really have stuck was you said to me, I knew that I didn't have in my budget a complete redo of the cabinets. So you went into this thinking that you would just have Alan paint them.
Yes.
But that's not what you did.
No. So we kind of talked through some things that the cabinet faces that we had. were a little bit more ornate than what I typically would go for. And Alan's like, well, let me just price out refacing them because it may not be as bad as what you think. And so when he did, the number didn't ruin everything, and it actually created a much better looking kitchen. So we're very pleased.
Well, I think that's really important to share, because so often in any kind of remodel, you always hear the story of you begin with this budget and you end with this budget. So for you to be able to say he helped you come in at pretty much your same budget with a much better result than you thought you were going to get.
Yeah, it was fantastic. We did a mini shaker style, so kind of because it was a narrow shotgun style kitchen, you really wanted the cabinets to look as wide and big as possible. And so when we kind of did more of the smaller shaker, it expanded the kitchen.
Yeah,
made it look much bigger.
I would say Jessica ended up getting what we offer as far as the refinish, reface, modification, and custom cabinetry all in one.
Yeah.
So when you call us a boutique, she got every bit of that in her kitchen.
So you also did an island for her, is that right?
That is correct.
So
a large one.
A large one.
Yeah, I think it was at 10 feet.
10 feet.
Yeah,
yes.
it was a long island to try to utilize space and make it work, but it looked stunning.
So was that your idea? I know you have a design background yourself.
So luckily, Linda kind of helped me because it has a weird curve, which at first I was like, I haven't seen this.
The island?
The island, yeah. So
wow.
It goes out straight, but then kind of curves out, almost like a piano if you think of it.
Yeah.
But now we can sit there, the whole family, have plenty of room to kind of, and then also be able to cut vegetables and do whatever we're doing from a cooking and food prep standpoint. So
yeah,
it looks stunning.
You know, to me, so often everything in your life is a partnership with, like, you're the expert in one way, but then you turn to an expert, in this case Alan, to partner with. So talk about the ease of working with him, because that's also a fit that you've got to find.
Well, Alan's so good at communicating. So for me, like, I had a vision, I know what it is, but he was able to walk me through some of the things that may either be challenges or may not look as good as what I was anticipating. So he could help kind of shift, okay, well, you can do this, but I would use this sheen because it'll wear better. You've got young kids and you're not going to see the scratches and scuffs. So you may not want to do a high gloss or something super, super low luster. So those are things that I wouldn't have known and would have probably been frustrated with down the road if he wouldn't have communicated that with me. You know, so I ended up going with trusting his expertise on some of those things.
Well, and I think I'm right, correct me if I'm not, but that when people call you, it's you. So you are the one in their home. So you kind of take them under your wing, you kind of hold them tight for that week that you're with them.
So when you're calling our business, you're calling me directly. It's me you're speaking with. So yes, I mean, I am the owner operator of my business, and what I've built is what you're going to get is always the good custom service that we're always trying to give everybody.
I also like the fact that the custom is a big part of it. You don't have a Barra's cabinet look, right? You don't have a formula that you go by. You really custom it to each home.
That is correct. That is correct. We do customize your home as far as that goes. Like in her case was the refinishing, reface, modification work. So what she had, what it looked like in one aspect, I mean, it was completely, I mean, it's unrecognizable when we're done, but really for the better.
Well, you better plan your vacations accordingly, because it sounds like she already has plans to have you come back. Is it your closet you're dreaming of next?
So it's a master bath. I need 2 vanities from him. And so it's like I want a natural wood. I want it to be very clean looking, and I know he's the person that can do it. So
since you do only do the 1 client a week, I'm sure your waiting list, you know, expect to wait. What are you looking at right now on a waiting list? August.
Yes.
Okay, that's okay. That would still get you done before the holiday season comes, right?
Yes, that is correct.
You will do bathrooms, closets, pantries.
Yeah, anything custom cabinetry.
Anything custom cabinetry. So you make your own list. Here's the phone number so you'll know how to get in touch with him. It's Alan Barra at Barra's Cabinet Refinishing. They're located in Whitwell, but really it's your home. The phone number 582-2888. Thank you, Alan.
Thank you.
Around 20 years ago, I received a phone call that no one wants to receive. My mother had been in a terrible car wreck. Her bones, they were shattered from head to toe. Both her life and mine were forever changed. When I'm asked why we represent the injured, it's very simple. It's personal to me and my law firm. And I must say, we're darn good at what we do. Now, Weathermark Keith, it's more us. It's personal.
You look like a superstar up there.
I know America, they always get it right.
The Voice finale live tonight on NBC and Peacock.
Wow. Where the X are we? That is for me to know and them to find out. This ought to be fun.
Destination X, next Tuesday on NBC and Peacock.
I'm Dr. Marty Reddish, and this is my dog Leo. So many of my patients with worn out arthritic knees hurt so much they can't walk their dog. Instead of going through the long, painful recovery from a total knee replacement, more than half of my patients will have a minimally invasive outpatient partial knee, which quickly gets them back out there with their best friend, walking with a strong, stable, and natural feeling knee. Your dog will love you for it. Learn more today. Visit partialkneedoc.com.
There's a reason Detective Johnson is the gossip king.
Oh, did you hear? Jackie and Tom
are getting a divorce? Sad.
Well, I heard that Ashley
had work done on her face? Yeah, oof.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big.
Bathroom? Okay.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Oh, okay.
It is a storm alert weather day here across the Tennessee Valley. We're going to be tracking out some strong to severe storms beginning right around 8 o'clock this evening and continuing into the first part of Wednesday morning. There's going to be the potential for damaging winds, hail, and tornadoes here across the entire Tennessee Valley. So we want to be weather aware today. It's going to be quiet for the first 2/3 of the day. Temperatures climbing into the upper 80s. It is going to be hot and humid, but we do have a level 3 out of 5 risk for severe storms. That includes practically our entire coverage area. So you want to be weather aware because confidence is increasing that we'll have severe weather. So again, as we take a look at Futurecast, first part of the day, A-OK. Now after about 5-6 o'clock, there could be a few cells developing. The model not really picking up on a lot of it, but it is a possibility. So don't be completely caught off guard if we have a few strong storms before 7 or 8 o'clock. It certainly is a possibility. The main line comes in later this evening into the first part of Wednesday morning. That will be progressing to the east as we continue through the first part of your day. So as we wake up tomorrow morning, a lot of this is going to be well off to our east. And after about 2 a.m., again, things are going to die down and your Wednesday is looking really good. So we just have to get through a 6-7 hour period of severe weather, and then things are going to be great for the rest of the week. Here's a look at your severe threats. The high winds, I'm talking straight line winds of 60 to 70 miles per hour, going to be our primary threat here across the Tennessee Valley. Large hail tornadoes also going to be a concern. Again, that tornado threat has increased since what we had yesterday, so you definitely want to be weather aware. And this is the latest tornado threat. That's a 10% chance in the yellow shade, and that's within a 25-mile radius. So if you drew a dot in a circle of 25 miles in either direction of Chattanooga, that's where you could have that 10% chance of a tornado touching down. So again, not the highest risk, but it certainly is more elevated than it typically is. And any tornado that does develop, especially Middle Tennessee, Cumberland Plateau, North Alabama, could potentially become strong. So we're looking at EF2 or greater strength in this area. Not saying that there's going to be EF2 tornadoes. It just means conditions are going to be favorable for any tornado that does develop to become strong. So we just need to be weather aware today. There's also a 45% chance of damaging wind gusts here in this purple shade, and that is also within that 25-mile radius. So highest threat for damaging winds, Athens, Chattanooga, Fort Payne, across Middle Tennessee, the Cumberland Plateau, and North Alabama. But we also have a high threat for damaging winds across North Georgia and parts of western North Carolina as well. So key today is just going to be have a severe plan in place, be close to your storm safe place, especially later this evening, have multiple ways of receiving those alerts, no weather radio, and of course your local 3 weather app. And also keep in mind, no weather radio, there's an outage for Grundy and Van Buren counties today. So you guys definitely want to download this local 3 weather app. It'll let you know if anything's coming. Of course, we'll be on air and streaming on Facebook throughout the duration of this event to keep you updated. Today, 88, hot and humid again. Those storms coming in later this evening, finishing up probably around 1 or 2 early Wednesday morning. And then the rest of the week, it's going to be smooth sailing. I'm talking Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Even temperatures are going to come down into the 70s. Overnight lows cool in the lower 50s, maybe even upper 40s. By this weekend, Saturday should be dry. Then we'll have more showers Sunday into Memorial Day.
Accurate forecasts matter. Trust the Local 3 Storm Alert Team to make sure you're prepared. Wherever you live in the Tennessee Valley, the Storm Alert Team has the technology and experience to keep you weather ready for sunny days and stormy days.
Experience life-changing ketamine infusion and TMS therapy at Scenic City Neurotherapy. Patients from all over travel to Chattanooga for our unmatched care. With the nation's highest success rate, our commitment to outcomes sets the standard. Recognized by the Chamber of Commerce for excellence, proudly contributing to Chattanooga's legacy of innovation. At Scenic City Neurotherapy, we know when we take care of our community, you take care of us. Trust Scenic City Neurotherapy for better care.
Since 1979, we have proudly been serving the Chattanooga community.
With your support, we have grown beyond our wildest dreams.
A one-on-one journey to optimize your health.
Let us partner with you
on your wellness journey.
I'm Gary Massey. It only takes 1 second for a person to be involved in an accident. And when the worst occurs, there's only one person that matters, you. At Massey & Associates, we want to be the ones you call for help. We're the ones to get you the compensation you deserve from the insurance companies. Call us today and find out if you have a case. The consultation is always free. Massey & Associates, you gotta get Gary.
Local 3 is celebrating 40 years of Dollywood. We're giving away 40 pairs of tickets just in time for Dollywood's Flower and Food Festival. Enjoy picture-perfect moments, live music, and unique foods as Dollywood blooms to life. Enter to win at local3news.com.
On Par with Paul, Tuesdays at 4, only on Local 3 News.
It's always a good day when we can say go Mocs, and that's what we're going to say this morning. This is Dr. Kathleen Whitley. She is the Associate Dean of the Business School at UTC, and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
You wore the appropriate colors.
I tried.
So, you know, you and I were comparing notes a little bit before we got on the air about how long each of us has been in Chattanooga. And we've both been here almost the same length of time, 20 plus years.
That's right.
In those years, you've really watched, I think, the growth of UTC unfold before our eyes. And there is such, I think, community pride in the business school. It is really stellar, the program that you have.
Well, thank you. Thank you. We've worked hard to get it where it is. And we're grateful for all the community support that we have.
So I want to talk to you a little bit about the college itself, the business school, because it was endowed quite heavily from what I remember.
It was,
when it opened. And that's for a very good reason, because you want your students who are coming into it to have the resources they need to really be equipped to make that degree work for them.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we received our first donation from Gary W. Rollins and was able to implement research centers and more hands-on learning for our students, and also renovate our current Fletcher Hall to give students an updated technology and lab experience right within our college. And looking forward to the future, we broke ground after a second gift from Gary W. Rollins. So we broke ground a few months ago on an addition to our building. So it's exciting to see that come to fruition and how that's really going to change the experience.
You know, we live in a world now where so many people are, young people especially, are finding that they have kind of a keen business mind. Entrepreneurship is growing. I think y'all embrace that.
Yes,
at the college.
We do. For our undergraduate programs, we have all of our traditional Bachelors of Science in Business Administration, from accounting to management to marketing, and we also have an entrepreneurship major.
Okay, so the undergraduate part of it is one side, and I
Absolutely.
will say to anybody out there who's crying a bit because your senior's graduating from high school and it's hard to let them go, maybe they haven't decided quite where where they want to go, you can register at UTC, at least to enroll in classes, pretty late. And then the networking abilities you have by being in town are fantastic.
Yes, absolutely, and you can't go wrong with a business degree.
Yes, but a lot of people too are now turning to you for a graduate degree.
Absolutely.
In business. So if you want to pursue that, if you were the undergrad student who maybe was a political science major, you can still switch over and apply for the business?
Absolutely. Let me share a few of our programs. One of our newest program is our Master of Accountancy with a concentration in our executive program. And that program was specifically designed for a non-accounting major to enter into the accounting field. And what we're seeing is a tremendous need for accounting professionals. So if you've ever thought, maybe accounting might be a place for me, thinking about changing careers, that Master of Accountancy might be just the thing.
Yeah.
Also, our traditional MBA is built for non-business undergrads. Now, certainly business undergrads can come into the program, but we're welcome to have engineering majors, English majors, psychology majors. That's exactly what that traditional MBA was built for.
So as the associate dean and your whole team that you work with every day, is part of what y'all are looking for is to see how the landscape in business changes so that you're offering the right programs for the future?
Yes, absolutely. And I'll say, you know, our undergraduate, very traditional. But when we think about those graduate programs, we really need to be changing with the times. So we've created 2 additional programs. We've got a Master's of Science in Management, which provides professionals to really dig deeper into those leadership and soft skills. And then we've got the Master's of Science in Data Analytics. And don't let data analytics scare you, because that program is also designed for anybody to enter into. And data is such a driving factor in business today. So you've got to understand how to use that data to make better business decisions. And that's a part of that Master's of Science in Data Analytics.
So I will tell you something that you don't know yet, but I'm a parent of 2 daughters, both of whom will end up being UTC grads.
All right,
my
go
older
Mocs.
one did, my younger one is there now. But it's interesting to me to watch the transformation that happens, I think for most young people, 18 to 22, and with a graduate degree, now you're looking 25, 26. And what you think you want to do with your life and what you choose to do usually changes.
Absolutely. I have an undergraduate degree in engineering. And now look at me.
And now here you are. I love to name drop a little bit, so let me just say that you're a Syracuse grad.
Yep.
You came to Chattanooga in 2001 for the job at UTC, fell in love with it, but the faculty and the administration there at UTC, you just have a new chancellor named.
Yep.
You're pulling from the best.
Yeah. We've got wonderful faculty who are really engaged with the student learning process. We are really application based, so everything we do is to really give our students the best education with technical expertise and that professional development to be able to launch them into their first career or second career, depending on undergraduate or graduate students. So we are truly engaged with our students and want them to be successful.
So with the application process, undergrad is pretty self-explanatory. They can't promise housing to you, but you can at least go ahead and get that application in if you're not quite sure what your plans are for the fall. On the graduate side of things, it's a little bit more lengthy probably, or can you still apply for the fall?
No, actually the graduate is still is maybe a little bit easier.
Okay.
All of that information is on our website, and go ahead and apply. And all of our programs operate on kind of a rolling admission.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's still time.
It's never too late. UTC.edu. You'll be saying go Mocs as well.
Yes.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Susan, and I lost 27 pounds with Bragg weight loss in 40 days. I've maintained the weight for over a year and a half. I went from size 16 to a size 6. I'm no longer on blood pressure medication, and I feel fantastic.
I'm C-Mark.
I'm John Mark.
Never text and drive.
And always wear your seatbelt.
If you've been involved in a wreck on the interstate, give us a call.
We may have the video footage from our exclusive crash camera network.
That crash camera will add value to your case. More cha-ching.
Take a look at our website. Check it out.
265-HURT.
That's 265-4878. We are your local law firm.
58 Foundations and Waterproofing, the only company that's been encapsulating crawl spaces, waterproofing basements, and repairing foundations since 1958. That means experience. That also means you can be confident your home is in good hands. And if that wasn't enough, here's this. 58 Foundations and Waterproofing offers the industry's only money-back guarantee. That's right, experience and trust. Who else can offer that? 58 Foundations and Waterproofing. Schedule your free inspection today.
I got hurt by a big truck. You know why I called the Insiders?
Because life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money.
And we're going to get it for you.
We got a client that suffered a head injury from a truck wreck, $650,000.
Another client of ours was T-boned by a big truck and broke multiple bones. We got them $3 million.
If you get hurt by a big truck, call the Insiders. It's just that easy.
Hurt by a commercial truck? Call the Insiders. Call 265-1100.
Hello, Dr. Bragg with Bragg Weight Loss. Those of you that have been struggling with weight all your lives, don't beat yourself up. It's not your fault. It's hormones, hormones, hormones. You live in fat storage hormone dominance. We can correct that.
We're going to tug on those mother heartstrings as we begin the conversation this morning. We're talking about special kids therapy. If you've heard of it, then you know. If you have not heard of it, you're going to be very impressed. We're very happy to have Carrie Goodwin. She is the founder of Special Kids Therapy. Debbie Bryce next to her has the great pleasure, she would say, of helping them with development. So nice to see you both.
Thank you for having us.
The name kind of says it all, except that the special is that every child is special, right, Carrie?
It is. Every child is special. We're so excited to be coming to Chattanooga. We're already in Murfreesboro, Tennessee for 26 years. And we are just thrilled to be finally coming to the Chattanooga community. I went to nursing school here, grew up here, and just back home to bring it here to Chattanooga.
So what she has brought to Chattanooga, and I'm going to let her be more eloquent in the description, but basically children, infant through 21,
right,
are able to come to you. You have this new location on Shallowford Road now,
right,
where you have kind of an arsenal of therapists who meet them with the need that they present with.
Right, just meet each child where they're at. We have physical, occupational, speech, feeding. We should open in July sometime. That's the goal. Just so many children waiting for us to open. And just stand in the gap. We have great facilities here in Chattanooga with other agencies, but they can't meet the needs of, 1 in 5 children have some sort of special therapy need. So it could just be mild toe walking to some extreme autism or therapy that might be pretty extensive.
Right. You also, Debbie, here you are as the development director, so you've kind of got to follow the money.
Yes.
But it sounds like your heart leads you first.
Absolutely.
So y'all have this model in place where you certainly accept insurance.
Yes.
But you try to work with people. There's a bit of a sliding scale that you bring to this.
That's exactly, so that we turn away no children. That is our mission, our goal.
Turn away no children. So we were talking off camera. I've had a journey of my own. I've been very upfront about it over the years. Both of you have children you love who've had a need for some help like this. When that is in your life, it's all you can think about. And so many of us end up, because it's usually never a go here one time and you're done kind of thing. Yeah. The expense can be ongoing.
It is. It's ongoing and it's astronomical, really. Even someone that has a little, more means, the cost of therapy and going 3 times a week for just one type of therapy, maybe just for PT, and then your child maybe need 3 times a week for another. It's just, you can't do that.
Right.
That's just way too much money out of pocket. So.
It's also a hard thing. I mean, I'll get psychological on everybody here too, but if you have one child, that's difficult. If you have 2 or 3 children, then those children are feeling impacted by that financial output.
Right. And we've talked many times about the impact if you have one of your children may have some special needs, then it does impact the whole family. So hopefully we're here to stand in that gap, work with other agencies. Everybody in this community has been working together with Debbie to bring special kids here. So we're pretty excited.
So you have been kind of at the forefront of this, talking with folks in the area. What are you hearing?
Well, first of all, we are just overwhelmingly welcomed. And I think we've met so far with over 80 nonprofits.
And it is so interesting and unique, what I think, to Chattanooga. It isn't, let's stay in your lane, this is what you do. It is instead, let's all work together, let's all find a way to collaborate and lift up the whole community.
Yeah.
So that is what we've experienced so far. Everyone has been so welcoming, like how can we collaborate later? Like what can we do to help you? Referrals, that kind of thing.
That's definitely a Chattanooga thing. Okay, so let's talk about the collaboration then at Special Kids Therapy. Because also in my experience, what can happen is you begin with one thought process of how this is going to help, but maybe it's not working properly. So many brains coming together to try to dig to figure out the answer is key. You know where I'm going with that, don't you?
So they'll come in and see the therapist, and if they need other services, we're there to help with that.
Yeah. So you, I know, feel very, very led to do this. Especially if you did it in Murfreesboro and then now you've brought it here. But does your team feel the same way?
Oh, wow.
The people you're bringing in?
Yes, the team is amazing. We have a fantastic director, Pete, and just a great support staff there. Oh, they're all so excited and feel extremely passionate about the mission.
So is the way you anticipate this working, or the way it works in Murfreesboro, on the true pediatric side of it, are pediatricians sometimes now referring their patients to you, or can people self-refer?
They cannot. They have to go through their pediatrician.
Okay.
And they can reach out to us, and then we can guide them in that process.
Okay. Is it going to be something like, let's say a child needs a surgery, and post-surgery there's going to be some therapy associated. They might come to you for that?
Exactly. That we would fit in great with that.
Okay. We're on the cusp of summer. I know you're going to hope to launch in July.
Right.
You are dealing with more physical issues, not like ADHD and that type of thing.
Not at this time.
Not
We'd
right
love
now.
to bring in behavior therapists later, but right now it's just the PT, OT, and speech.
But the summer months could be a great time to maximize on that schedule, right?
Right. Get in there and get seen, and let's go ahead and start with changing some lives.
If, since you're not opening until July, should people still try to reach out to you to kind of get on the books?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes?
Yes, definitely. They can reach out through Special Kids Chattanooga, the Facebook page. We now have a Facebook page.
Okay.
So, and then, the community support. We are still trying to get some equipment and things like that, because we are a nonprofit.
Sure.
And we do take children sometimes without the ability to pay.
So what you're saying delicately is, if you believe in this mission and you'd like to support them in their efforts, they would certainly welcome that conversation as well.
Yes.
So you can call them if you want to, 591-7600, specialkidschat.com. It's going to be where you'll find them here in town, and watch for them to cut that ribbon and welcome you in July.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you so much.
Summer is for camp at Reflection Riding. Our campers discover nature and wildlife with new friends, exploring a forest full of fun for ages 5 to 13. Make this summer your child's wildest adventure yet. Scan the QR code now to sign up.
Codright Tree Service provides no impact removal, trimming, and maintenance, which protects your property and landscaping. Fully licensed and insured with over 20 years experience in the Chattanooga area. Call Codright for a free estimate for all your tree care needs.
Stanley lost 10 years to ED. Shame hunched him over. Online pills just gave him a headache. He thought it was over. Chattanooga Men's Clinic said no. With ED and performance treatments others only dream about, we fight like hell to get you back in the saddle. Dial 423-402-9720 or go to ChattanoogaMen'sClinic.com. Your consultation includes blood work with results before you leave. Chattanooga Men's Clinic. We're making it happen.
You've got to be prepared for anything. For dips, banks, anything that comes your way.
Let's ride!
Because the only way you're getting through this is together.
1, 2...
Okay, enough! Get your stuff, let's go.
Yay!
The all-new Raptors Rage at Soaking Mountain Water Park, Summer 2025.
We restore pool decks, decorative concrete, resealing color, or adding something brand new. Concrete repair specialist fixes it fast and fixes it right. Call now to schedule an estimate. With service this good, you won't forget us.
The St. Jude Dream Home is nearing completion. That means it's time to get your ticket. If you reserve your ticket before May 31st, you'll also get a chance to win $3,500 in prizes. So call or reserve online now.
So let's talk real estate a little bit this morning. Grace Frank is back on the show, and have you figured this out yet? Grace does not like to come by herself.
No, I don't.
You have too many people who you want to highlight and showcase. So you have brought with you Laurel Wagner, who is with the Grace Frank group, but she's your kind of staging expert. Is that right?
She's actually, yes, she actually has a degree in it. And there's a lot of psychology that goes into it.
So we've been having this conversation off camera, and I want to touch on that part of it, Laurel, because I would imagine that when you go in to stage a home, you really have to take a good look at the bones of the house to know how to kind of bring out its character. Is that it?
We do. We focus on the architecture of the home and the spaces. I can do, and I do anything as little as decluttering a home to make the space more seem larger. And then I can go into, I do paint colors. Paint can do a world of difference. I've also done, with some clients, I have done countertops and cabinetry and light fixtures. So it can run the gamut from going in and decluttering, which is very important when you're trying to sell a home. But the psychological staging really focuses on the science of the virtual perception and also the emotional attachment that a buyer has to the home.
Okay, so, and that's going to somewhat, I'm sure there's a formula to it, but then some of it's going to be dependent on who comes and walks through the house, right?
Well, and the property itself.
Right.
Where it's at, the type of property it is.
Right. Sure, because if you're selling a historic home in Fort Wood, that's going to attract probably a different buyer than a brand new construction somewhere else, right? They're looking for different things.
Exactly.
But how much of it for you, Grace, is the relationship conversation? Because when people come to list their home with you, you can't look, I guess, just at the home. You've got to kind of know the seller too, to know what their comfort level is going to be. And if they have 3 kids and 2 dogs, how quickly can they clean up and get out of the house for a showing?
So yeah, it's a little complicated. I mean, and everybody has a little bit different opinion about staging. Some it's just if they're living there, that's different than if it's a vacant house. And so those are 2 different kind of complex processes, whether it's a vacant house and you're trying to make it feel lived in, or if it's a real lived-in house and you're trying to make it look less confusing.
Right.
And so people like to not be real personable, but at the same time you want to understand the personality of the house as well. So it's a real fine line. That's why I'm not a stager. I know what I do best, and I'm a good marketer of the property, a good negotiator. So I always bring in the professionals to do the staging. And I've had recently a client ask me, well, am I going to get my money back? And I'm like, typically, yes, because if a house is staged, it's going to sell faster,
right?
And typically for more money, because it feels better,
right? So do you, when you come into stage, Laurel, do you sometimes or often use the pieces that the home seller already has there?
Yes, I prefer to do that. I can bring in other furniture, but I prefer to use what the seller already has. And touching on what Grace said, the average person will spend roughly around $2,700 on home expenses per month. So to pay a staging fee is minimal compared to what they're going to be spending per month. And if I have a 98% success rate of the home being under contract within the first 23 days of listing, if they follow my plan.
Wow. Okay, that bears repeating. In 23 days, a 97% success rate
98%.
If they adhere to your plan.
Exactly.
So do you meet with them and kind of give them your recommendation then of what to stage, or do sometimes they say, you know what, just do it, we'll be back at 5?
I've had both, and I've had people, I've one client with Grace that it was their mother's home, and they were very apprehensive to do anything, to change anything, because that's the way that they grew up. But to sell a home is completely different than how you live in a home.
We were talking a little bit about how there are trends in homes, and so some people still love the open concept plan. Some people are going more towards the individual rooms. You, though, do enjoy trying to create feeling when you stage a home.
Absolutely, absolutely. We did a wonderful home that was about 100 years old, and we did little vignettes, and so we did a little reading nook, and they had this massive closet, and we turned it into a playroom. So the bedroom could be like a teenager room or a nanny room with the little playroom right connected to it. So we just did little vignettes, and it was fun to do.
How often do you have a home seller say, oh, now that we see it this way, let's take it off the market?
I have had that happen before.
I can see that. Or a wife says to her husband, see, I told you we should have moved that chair, right? So your team, I got to let you run, but your team at Grace Frank is just that. You've got a whole team of people.
Oh, absolutely.
Start to finish.
Correct. Yep. We're very focused on customer service and high quality and concierge service, which is very important to make sure that every step of the way clients are taken care of and they have 5-star service.
Yeah, we kind of have referenced you as a boutique experience.
Yeah,
So here is where you will find her and Laurel and the whole team at the Grace Frank Group. They're on Georgia Avenue in downtown Chattanooga. 544-7156 is the phone number. And then there is the website. Grace is the master marketer, and she is very smart to bring this wonderful team together. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
With McValue at McDonald's, you'll get deals on breakfast, which comes in handy when you've got the whole family in town.
Get more out of your morning with any size iced coffee for only $1. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
You look like a superstar up there. I know America, they always get it right.
The Voice finale live tonight on NBC and Peacock.
Wow.
Where the X are we? That is for me to know and them to find out. This ought to be fun.
Destination X, next Tuesday on NBC and Peacock.
Now's the best time to transform your outdoor living space with Champion. You can screen in your existing porch, or enclose it with glass, or cover that patio, or even add a full sunroom to make the outdoors a bit more comfortable. There are so many possibilities.
Right now, save 30% off your new outdoor living space. Scan the QR code to see which style is right for your home.
Let's get cooking. Summer's coming soon.
Call 888-4CHAMPION or schedule your free in-home estimate online today.
Here you go. Twins.
Insurance for, are there twins anywhere on your side of the family?
We found out we are having twins.
Tennesseans know that sometimes life has its little surprises. But no matter what comes your way, know that Farm Bureau Insurance is there to help. Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee. Tennessee Insurance for Tennessee Life.
If something's missing in your morning without a McDonald's breakfast, then try our bagel sandwiches. With fluffy egg, melty cheese, and your choice of a steak patty with grilled onion, or bacon, or sausage, well, those will fill the void deliciously. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Well, that's going to wrap up the show for today. A couple of things to point out to you, though, before I let you run and enjoy the beautiful sunshine that's outside right now. Number one, don't forget that we've got those storms coming in. It is a severe alert weather day, so please be sure that you're weather aware, ready for the storms that might be coming our way, and of course, keep it right here on Local 3 News throughout the day and of course into the evening as well. Also want to let you know that the tickets for the St. Jude Dream Home giveaway are on sale at dreamhome.org. You can always learn more, but if you buy your ticket before May 31st, look what you could win, $3,500 to improve your own home. We'll see you tomorrow.
All property owners are responsible for ensuring their property